My name is Mele Mel, a.k.a. Muscle Simmons. My new a.k.a. is Two Guns of Hope. See, the big guns right here.
Really, when we talk about superheroes, we really can compare you to a modern day superhero. Your look, your voice, your delivery, the creativity has inspired so many other black men to follow in that lead. What inspires you?
Well, just to represent hip hop for all these years, and my whole thing is just to always put a better face on hip hop, because the face that they got on hip hop now is is too street. It really has nothing to do with what the positiveness and the creativity that we started with. So my whole thing is like, you always want to put your best face forward. You know what I mean? Instead of just trying to go with the program and wear the jeans or sag my pants and the big T-shirts and the glitters and the belt buckles. To show that hip hop can be an adult thing, and it could be mature, and to show a young person that is all right to mature, because for some reason they got it out there like like everybody should remain young. You're young when you're young, but when you're old or when you're mature, you should be mature, you should act mature, and you should come across that way. So my whole thing is always put that mature face on hip hop, and make that, and let that be the best face, instead of just these young guys. The drug dealer thing, that's corny to me, because it's negative, and that's not what we was about. We was the alternate guy. We was not the athlete or the drug dealer. We was the alternate guy, the guy that did rapped on the mic and did music. So that's why we trying to pioneer that and keep that moving forward.
And when you talk about imagery and you think about that, where did you guys come up with some of the ideas for the leather outfits? And it takes you to another place.
I can't speak for Flash, but our whole thing was like to just be as entertaining as possible, and being that we didn't have instruments, we wanted to have a dominant look. So we you start searching around, you go downtown, you see the punk rockers and what they was doing, and then we just more or less glamorized it, and a lot of it was so you can look more of like if you doing a call and response thing, which what hip hop is. If you tell somebody to do something, you got to look like the type of person that they would do it for. Mm-hmm. So that's where all that came in, the spikes, the leathers, and it just, gave us a dominant effect, and it was, and then that became our image. Everything in hip hop is represented: the pimp, the drug dealer, the killer, the hoe, you know what I mean? But you don't see mature black men represented in hip hop. They took us out of the equation. So that's what throws the whole thing off as far as the creativity and socially, because you have no leaders out there. You have nobody that's mature to show young people where they go wrong, because they took us out of the equation. So now we are the future, because we're going to bring it back to the forefront, and as well as be commercially viable, so that the industry people will understand where the money is. Because it's not with young people. Young people buy records, but older people give the money to younger people to buy the records. So there we are.
Okay. All right, and if you can give one piece of advice for the people on blacksci-fi.com, what would it be?
Just always be creative, and then you always got to be in touch with that inner child. Like, you never, it's good to be mature, but you don't have to be so mature to where you can't imagine. And that's the, and that's the key to everything, your imagination.
Thank you for being on blacksci-fi.com.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.